The coronavirus outbreak has challenged asset and fund management, involving asset managers, pension fund, and wealth fund, and numerous asset classes including private equity, hedge funds, real estate, and infrastructure. Many companies facing difficult situation. It has been nearly 2 years since the MCO came into the effect as the result of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. In volatility time, asset managers handle present issues of adapting the new normal and preparing for the future. There are a few industry leaders share their thoughts about MCO's impact due to this COVID-19 pandemic on asset and fund management industry. First, panic profit taking. At the first stage, when Malaysia imposed a lockdown, we can see some panic profit taking in the market that lasted only nearly about 2 to 3 weeks from the first MCO. Indeed, right after that, it started to see investors slowly return to the market and invest on that. So it can be shown that the market being very resilient and there is no major setback at all. Second, COVID-19 crisis creates opportunity. It was very challenging to work from home and at the same time ensure cybersecurity risks could be indicated due to SOP. So this crisis creates opportunity. There's a lot of interaction from educating the investor to take advantage of the market corrections. This is a good chance for the investor education program, of which the industry players have also grabbed the opportunity to elevate the concern of the unit holder on temporary underlying losses of their investment portfolio. Term Oil also demonstrate the value of active fund managers who are tested on the scales to weather through the financial storm and work harder to safeguard the investment asset during turbulent times. Unit trust funds are capable of withstanding the impact from market to more in the long run. Thus, this turmoil has made many investors become more investment saving. This is good for the Malaysian UTS and PRS industry, and many investors have more confidence now towards the market rebound and they invest collectively when the timing is right. Third, the rapidness of implementation digitalization in the unit trust capital market, especially when there is always been a lot of setbacks in going digital constraint, taking the constitution, where investors are not ready because insecurity of the internet network. But fortunately for the asset management industry, the challenge and opportunity are also the rapidness of how they move into digitalization started March 2020 has been very tremendous. Fourth, able to grow the asset under management AUM during this turmoil. Some industry leaders share how COVID-19 pandemic has affected their businesses. This time around, it has affected the business, but in a good way. As a firm, they were able to grow the asset under management AUM during this turmoil, supported by market rebound and increased suspicion. Next, took yearly precaution and reviewed BCP. Operations were not really affected, so that's quite alright, and that's the communication with investors are also not affected because all the time technology has helped asset managers, even though they don't have a chance to face-to-face meeting, but they always can meet online. Furthermore, business relatively resilient. The good thing is a good way. Evidence business in Malaysia is mostly resilient, but even from the unit trust perspective, they have been holding up quite well, but that's the global house that helped as well because within the group, they have so many different strategies and that's where a lot of investors hit the retail but some company not strong. There are action plans for asset managers to mitigate the impact of COVID-19. First, getting through the COVID-19 crisis. Profit from higher system traffic as a result of increased trading volume and share lending. Short-term cost-cutting initiatives should be implemented with the goal of gradually adapting them for the long term. Improve business continuity management by reducing risk exposure. Continue to meet their requirements through effective interaction with all stakeholders, including the sales network. By focusing more on the risk-averse goods, they can communicate value propositions to the network and investors. In the conclusion, asset and fund manager wanted to point out that the impending recession is due to the government's restrictions on travel and social activities. Fund manager hope coordinated effort by various government in both monetary and fiscal measure would curb in economic damage. History has shown that the market tends to recover from pandemic shocks. It proved in SARS, H1N1 and MERS. Long-term investor portfolio would recover as the world begins to normalize.